Namaste. Welcome to your prenatal asana series. We are going to practice pelvic tilts against the wall. Pelvic tilts are an amazing practice to prepare your pelvic floor for the upcoming delivery. The pelvic muscles are the most important part during the labor and the delivery time. And also during the prenatal phase, it helps you keep the baby intact in the cervix, in the uterus. So that muscle is like a foundation of the woman's body, specifically during the time of bearing the child. So hence, strengthening those muscles is very important part of the entire prenatal journey. So pelvic tilts are a practice which should specifically especially be done in the third trimester, specifically helping the woman to strengthen the pelvic floor muscles a lot more. And while the woman is nearing the labor time, the practice should be increased by multifold, at least 2 to 3 times, 5 times, or 10 times in a day even. Pelvic tilts are actually very close practice to Mulabandha, where we squeeze our sexual and rectum muscles together. Now the idea is to squeeze your anus muscles and vaginal muscles together and releasing, together, releasing, stretching them, squeezing them and releasing them, squeezing them and releasing them. Now there are 2 ways to practice this. One is to simply squeezing, releasing, keeping it about 2 to 3 seconds or 5 seconds maximum and releasing. Other practices, visualizing as if you are taking a blueberry into your navel. So lifting the pelvic floor muscles to the navel, squeezing the navel slightly inwards and then releasing, squeezing the navel slightly inwards and then releasing. So it's like visualizing, squeezing the belly into your system and releasing, squeezing the belly into your system and releasing. So this slight visualization actually helps you to properly squeeze the pelvic floor muscles. So you can try whichever works for your students or you while you're practicing this, and just see how it works on your pelvic floor muscles. So this practice is pelvic floor muscle against the wall. Now, if there is no bodily discomfort in terms of standing on the feet for long times and no leg cramps or etc., this practice is absolutely safe to be practiced by any women in any trimester. So this also helps loosen any lower back congestion or slight lower back pain, or there are sometimes you just want to relax and your lower back cannot come into one straight line as the lower back is tilting a lot. So straightening the lower back or just giving a good stretch to the spine this also helps if you do it with the help of a wall. So the way we do it is simply go back and we begin to rest our whole spine on the wall. Now to do that, it's required that you are slightly squatting, not fully, but very slightly squatting. Hence, the lower back curve is now straightened and the whole spine is straight on the wall. Once you have done that, squeezing your sexual and rectum muscles, releasing, squeezing, releasing, squeezing, releasing, squeezing, releasing, squeezing, releasing, squeezing, releasing, squeezing and releasing, and gently coming up straight. This is also, while you are creating a sequence for a prenatal phase, can be a good relaxing asana as well in between adjoining certain practices. Ideally, depending on the trimester the woman is, the main or major asanas should not be more than 3 to 4 in an entire one yoga class series. So our yoga class should ideally consist of certain warm-ups, yoga nidra, shavasana, initial prayer mantras, sankalpas, and only measure 3 to 4 asana maximum. So because you cannot give or suggest too many asanas in one yoga class to a prenatal woman, that is why adding slight practices in between, which are beneficial for her journey, at the same time not too exhausting, is very important. The idea of a prenatal yoga class should be to give her more relaxation and not to give her any exhaustion in the process. So she should not be left with exhaustion at the end of the class, but rather relaxation. So keeping in mind that purpose, using this asana or other movements that are very light on the body, yet very beneficial for the prenatal journey, is very important. So use this as this adjoining asana or a gift that a woman can receive from you during her prenatal phase. Thank you.